Hey, how's it going? It's June 21st, 2026, and I just watched Toy Story 5. Where we're at in the story is Woody has just parted ways with the group at the end of Toy Story 4, and Buzz, Jessie, all of the original toy members are back living with Bonnie. Woody's decided to go and live with Bo Peep and sort of be a lost toy, so not tied to an owner. And so now we're in the Bonnie phase of the toys story. Andy has moved on to college, and we're kind of getting a peek back into what's going on with Bonnie's life. Toy Story 4, we didn't pay a whole lot of attention to Bonnie. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 was, the stories were very directly tied to Andy's growth and development. Toy Story 1, Andy replaces, or not replaces, but he gets a new toy in Buzz, and now the conflict of that story results in Woody and Buzz's sort of adversarial relationship. And then Toy Story 2, Andy is what was the Andy trigger in that movie? Andy was playing with Woody and he accidentally broke him. So it was sort of like showcasing the passage of time and what that does to our bodies and how it affects the relationships of the people around us, in this case the toys with Andy. And then Toy Story 3 was Andy moving on to college. Toy Story 4, the toys are with Bonnie already, but that story is very much more focused on Woody and his reconciliation with Bo, sort of finding out what's been going on with her. So now we go into Toy Story 5, and we are bringing it back to sort of the central theme throughout the previous Toy Stories of growing up and what that looks like. And in this phase of Bonnie's life, she's wanting to make a connection. Connection is a very central theme to Toy Story 5. She's wanting to make connections with the people around her. She's in that sort of phase of childhood where you're starting to look outwards. You've been in the home for quite some time, and now especially with, we saw that Bonnie went to, I think it was kindergarten for the first time at the end of Toy Story 4, because that's when she made Forky. And yes, either the first time or I forget, but she's starting to go to school at the end of Toy Story 4. Now she's wanting to start to make friends, and we have this theme of connection. And in the beginning, we see her sort of hesitating at moving forward and engaging with the neighborhood kids to see if they want to be friends and play. But she's nervous. It's not something that she's done before, and so she hasn't quite worked up the courage to do it. And then she goes to her parents, and she asks them, how come nobody wants to be my friend, or how come I can't make friends, or something like that. And it's this, it's a heartbreaking, difficult time for any child's life when they are trying to establish connections with the people around them and they can't, and they are failing to do it. And I think I like that about this movie. This movie really paints a picture of what that looks and what that feels like. And so we establish this this conflict that Bonnie has from relatively early on in the movie. She's trying to make a connection. She's trying to make a connection with her friends, with anybody, and the parents have this idea to introduce her to this tablet. In the Toy Story universe, Lily Pad is their version of the tablet. And another sort of running theme in this movie is the impacts of technology on the connections with the people around us, and our connection to ourselves, our connection to our friends, to the people around us. And it's also, it's interesting commentary on the world that we live in today, where people are more connected than ever through the internet, through technology, and through social media, and yet are somehow more disconnected or less connected than they were when we didn't have the ability to connect with people so easily. And that's a lot of movies and TV shows are touching on that topic nowadays, and it was kind of wild to see that Toy Story has lasted so long as a saga that it's made its way into the tech and social media era, and now we're starting to see those types of references pop up in Toy Story. I'd been watching Toy Story 1 through 4 leading up to this movie, and those movies were made a long time ago, 20 plus years ago, the oldest one, I believe. And it's been crazy to see the progression, like how the world has progressed in these movies, how the quality of the animation has progressed, the characters' movements, the vernacular that they use, and then now with Toy Story 5, the introduction of technology and how it's sort of become commonplace in our world. And so we see that Bonnie is really trying to establish a connection with her friends, and she's failing to do so. But then we have this iPad or this lily pad that can send a friend request and make a connection for her in a matter of seconds. And so now Bonnie is entering this new phase of her childhood where she has the ability to make friends, but it sort of comes at the cost of her compromising herself a little bit, because she gets excited for the sleepover that she's going to go to, and she has her toys, but then she gets there and all the kids are on their devices. They're not even talking to each other, and she's introducing her toys to them, and the children sort of have a negative reaction to that, and that makes Bonnie sort of shell up and go, oh, do I really want these toys? And now we see Bonnie sort of actively compromising herself so that she could be part of a group, which is another sad thing that children will go through when they're growing up. The test of, are you going to find the right group? Are you going to find a group and then compromise yourself so that you can join it? Or are you going to accept isolation? Like, there's all different scenarios that sort of part of a child's life can go through. And it was interesting to see this was Bonnie's version of that. And with that, we get Jessie's story tied into it. We had her, she had such a strong introduction in Toy Story 2 in being one of the first sort of, one of the first interactions that Woody had with another toy who had lost their owner or been abandoned by their owner. And that gave Woody a little dose of reality that, this relationship with your kid doesn't last forever, and you need to start thinking about that and preparing for that. And now we get to revisit that a little bit. And one thing that was interesting was in the beginning of the movie, or towards the beginning of the movie, we get a flashback of Jessie with Emily, her kid, and we see her face for the first time. I thought that was an interesting choice, because in Toy Story 2, not seeing her face sort of gave her this kind of almost like mystical kind of vibe about her. Like, who is this person that Jessie spent all these years with, had such an emotional connection developed with her, and then abandoned her? But putting a face to that story felt like, Toy Story wants to start telling you things now. We're gonna find out things. We're gonna find out things in this movie, because the whole Toy Story universe is shrouded in a lot of mystery. Where did these toys come from? How are they brought to life? There's a lot of questions that haven't been answered, but Toy Story will reveal things every so often, like in the first Toy Story movie, I talked about this in my other Toy Story review, that Woody acknowledges that there are rules that they all follow. When he gathers Sid's toys together to develop a plan to save Buzz, he says to them, "We're going to have to break a few rules." So it begs the question: who made these rules? Where did the rules come from? Do they apply to everybody? How do they know the rules? Are they given them, or are they inherent? So yeah, there's a lot of things about the Toy Story universe that we have yet to learn. And another sort of detour from the main story, throughout the story, we have this like B story, or maybe like even C or D story, of these Buzz Lightyears that have crash landed. They fell from some plane or something, and they've crash landed on this island. They don't know anything about themselves. They have no, I mean, they have autonomy, but it seems like they have some sort of hard-coded mission inside them, and they don't know why, but they're trying to find Star Command. They're following this star. They left the island they were on. It's really cool. It's like a really cool way that Toy Story 5 broke up the pacing of the main story and kind of brought you back to like these mini episodes of a bunch of Buzz Lightyears. But yeah, they are sort of it's funny that like Toy Story always uses Buzz Lightyear as the vessel for sort of like figuring out who you are. But there's a scene where they're in some shipping container yard, and a human is approaching, and then they all freeze, and then the human leaves, and they all come back to life again, and they ask themselves, why did we just do that? Like, they don't even know. And another example comes to mind in Toy Story 4, when Bonnie put together Forky. The toys were like surprised, excuse me, that Forky was alive. So yeah, like I don't exactly know what the toys are. I had a theory, I think, as I was watching Toy Story 3, that maybe they're cyborgs, because they get tired. They can smell, like Woody could smell when Al of Al's Toy Barn, when he was trying to steal his arm from him in Toy Story 2, and Al burped, he like plugs his nose, like he can detect a smell. So either the toys are organic, or they are able to sense like variations in odor, which leads me to believe maybe they're cyborgs. I don't know. They could be anything. But we never really know. In Toy Story 5 even, it's not fully revealed what they are. I don't know if it ever will be. But anyway, I'm getting away from the main plot line, which is that Bonnie's trying to establish connections, okay? And then by way of, what's the phrase? Way of circumstance, way of chance, they end up at Emily, Jesse's previous owner's old property, but now a new family lives there, and the girl that lives there, she's into playing with toys, and Jesse, who has also ended up there somehow, realizes that, oh, she would be a good friend for Bonnie, who's trying to establish a connection. And so there's a bunch of story stuff that happens in between, but eventually they get Bonnie over to Blaze's house to try and make friends with her. But what has happened is that Lilypad, who, I didn't even mention this, but Lilypad, the device that Bonnie got from her parents to help establish connection with her friends, is sort of like this insidious character where it's simultaneously is the personification of technology today and how it's drawing us further apart from each other and making us value things that have very little to do with connection, more to do with like competition and the highest reward for the lowest effort, and things that directly cut against human growth and development and establishing connection. And this lily pad has basically been driving her towards these friends that are not good for her, that are all also on devices, and making Bonnie kind of deny the playful side of her. But then Bonnie and Blaze, the daughter living on the property where Jesse's previous owner used to live, they connect and they almost become friends. But Bonnie, by that point, is sort of like, she's like reluctantly giving up her playful ways to be with the new crowd that likes devices, and she doesn't even know why. She's just like doing that kid thing where she just wants to be accepted when there's a friend standing right in front of her that accepts her for who she is, but she doesn't even recognize that there's a connection being made, because she's made this fake connection with friends that she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know who they are. She just knows that they're online every morning and they play this duck game, but like, we haven't seen any anything built between them. We just know that they have a thing in common. So then the toys want to get Blaze and Bonnie connected again so that Bonnie can have a friend. And this is where the movie starts to get a little wild. These Buzz Lightyears that have been in the plot, in the C plot, come over to the A plot, and we also learn that they're like super high-tech Buzz Lightyears that are like hotspots. So it's like a rhetorical device, or a storytelling device for the devices now to have like super high-speed internet at all times throughout the rest of the movie. And this is also where it started to get a little unbelievable, because I forgot to mention, Jesse along the way meets these other devices that are a little more low-tech, like older previous generation devices. One of the voices of them is Conan O'Brien, which is pretty cool. I was really looking forward to seeing his voice acting in this movie. He did a great job. But they have like super high resolution photos that they can take to help them figure out where they are. They can send messages. It didn't make sense. Like, I believe Toy Story because that's the story. But most of the time the story is still able to make sense for me. Like all throughout Toy Story 1 and 2, there are justifications all throughout the story that allow me to buy into the idea that they're trying to sell. In Toy Story 5, making the reason the Buzz Lightyears now have high-speed internet installed into them, like, I guess, yeah, it was fine. Like, for that part of the movie, I was entertained, but I wasn't necessarily on board with it. But it was still fun. It was still fun and entertaining. It's always fun and entertaining. But yeah, and then at one point, like, this is where it really like kind of sent me over overboard, was they got this upgrade and all of a sudden they became drones and they were able to fly everywhere. I was like, okay, now like there's no risk anymore. Now they're all powerful. They can do anything. Like there's no danger. So why should I be worried? Why should I be invested? Everything's gonna be okay. They can transform into drones and fly away and be fine. So yeah, all that happened. Dog is knocking on my door. All that happened, and Blaze finds her way back to Bonnie's house, and then they are able to become friends. And so they establish a real connection, and the story wraps up real nicely. And we also get a nice little Buzz and Jesse finally get together. We can see Buzz sort of, he's working up the courage to propose to Jesse all throughout the movie. And then he finally does in this really nice scene at the end. And Jesse says, "You're stuck with me," which was like a really Jesse way of saying yes. I liked that a lot. She wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, yes." Like, "You stuck with me" is a really, I liked that line. All right, so sorry, my camera died for a second, but okay, yeah, we're good. But where was I? Yeah, Jesse says, "You're stuck with me," which is a very Jesse line. I miss good lines like that in the Toy Story movies. I miss, in Toy Story, the first Toy Story had such good dialogue between Buzz and Woody, and You know, they bounced off of each other so well. They had such good push and pull chemistry, and it made for such a rewarding resolution to their conflict at the end of that first movie, where they finally click and figure out how to work with each other. Toy Story 2 as well, where you know, there's this wedge sort of driven between Buzz and Woody, and their falling out in Toy Story 2 was really good. But then I think Toy Story 4, the dialogue between them started to get a little stale, and by Toy Story 5, they had a couple good moments, but I might have to watch it again. Nothing really stood out to me. Where was I going with that? Yeah, well, Jesse and Buzz. Oh yeah, so they got married, and then Woody, he went back to be with Bo Peep. So it was oh yeah, that was also kind of interesting how we had this big send off for Woody at the end of Toy Story 4, and then at the beginning of Toy Story 5, he just shows up again, which, yeah, that's fine. I like Woody, but you know, if you're gonna send off your character, send off your character. Don't bring them back immediately in Toy Story 5. Like have some, you know, build up the characters that you got now. You got good characters, and I think they did that with Jesse in this one. So, but I wonder what's going to happen with the other characters. If this is even going to be the last Toy Story. We thought Toy Story 4 was going to be the last one, but you know, I think as long as they keep on telling interesting stories. If they did another Toy Story 6, I wouldn't be mad. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. But you know, I think with every new Toy Story, they're bringing in new ideas and keeping it fresh and keeping it interesting. I was supposed to do a review on Toy Story 3 and 4. But I think I was just so tired when I watched those movies. I tried to make a review of them, and I could not string my thoughts together. So I kind of wove some of my thoughts of 3 and 4 into this 5 review. Maybe later I'll go back and make an actual review of them. But I don't know, I'll end with a ranking then, okay? I think if I were to rank all the Toy Stories right now, I think I would put Toy Story 2 at the top. And then in number 2, Toy Story 1. In number 3, Toy Story 3. In number 4, I think I'm going to put 5 in number 4. And then in number 5, number 4. Those are my Toy Story rankings. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and go watch Toy Story 5. Bye-bye.